Welcome to my Women's Month movie where we celebrate women called Fairest of Them All, where a bunch of princesses fight to the death to be the bride of the Mad Hatter, who acts more like the Joker with magic. And he does a really good Joker with magic. You can tell he's just living it up in this movie, and he should be the Joker in the next Batman movie because he's great at it. What does this have to do with celebrating women? Absolutely nothing. As usual, as what many of my movies have to do with anything. Ugh. Is this a good movie? But let's get started. It starts out with Alice, and the Mad Hatter gives her a riddle, which she gets wrong, so he cuts her face, and then laughs. And then he gives her another riddle, which she gets wrong, so he throws tea in her face and laughs. And then he goes to get the princesses, who he kills their spouses and their families and kidnaps. And then brings them there and announces that they're going to fight to the death, with the winner becoming his bride. Most of which don't want to be his bride. But they realize they all have special powers. So all the princesses have special powers in this movie. And Rosetta is Sleeping Beauty. Georgia is the Little Mermaid, who Mad Hatter took away her ability to talk already, but she gets it back. Belle, of course, is from Beauty and the Beast. Snow White. Cinderella, who I don't know why they keep naming Cinderella Cinderella. Cinderella was not her name. They called her Cinderella because she swept the chimney and she was constantly covered by cinders. And, of course, Tinkerbell. Why they called her Tinkerbell is because of Tinkerbells, because Peter Pan had numerous sexual diseases from all those lost boys he fucked. So the first battle is, of course, Rosetta versus Tinkerbell, and Rosetta beats the crap out of Tinkerbell. But who cares? We didn't come here to see Tinkerbell. We came here to see Rosetta and all the other Disney princesses. So the second battle is Belle versus Snow White. And Belle turns into a beast. And Snow White is getting her ass kicked until she eats a piece of Belle. I don't mean a piece of clothing, I mean she actually takes a chunk of her flesh and eats it. And then becomes super fast and beats the crap out of Belle. And then she continues to eat her. So apparently Snow White's power is powered by cannibalism, which should be a new DC superhero. Cannibalism man! So then Alice, who realizes she's going to die after this tournament is over, talks the Mad Hatter into putting off the last two battles for another day, which is, of course, Cinderella versus Georgia, and a three-way dance to end it all for the title of bride. So Georgia, who's gotten her ability to talk back thanks to Rosetta stabbing her in the throat with a fork, is begging Alice to let her go. And Alice refuses, so Georgia says she's going to kill her. But Georgia's so weak because she doesn't have blood. Because in this movie, mermaids need blood to live. How they get human blood underwater, I don't know. So apparently, Georgia is bringing sailors to their doom to drain them, and yet her husband, who's a human, is in love with her, so maybe cannibalism is everyone's power. Cannibalism the movie. And then Alice begs Cinderella to help her get free, which Cinderella initially refuses. So then Alice talks to the Mad Hatter, who then stabs her in the leg and laughs. Because stabbing people in the leg is always funny. It's even funnier if you stab them in the crotch, but he didn't go that direction. So then Alice begs Cinderella again to help her escape, and they do. But Georgia sees them and tries to get them to help her escape with them. But they don't. So then Georgia screams this this scream that like literally melts your eardrums. And so the Mad Hatter comes in and she tells him that they're escaping. So he asks which way, and she demands blood. So he gives her Tinkerbell. Oh, Tinkerbell's a full-grown woman in this. She doesn't have wings. She's not a fairy. And then Georgia drinks her and says north. So Mad Hatter activates these two guards that he killed and has tied up and sends them after them. At which point the Mad Hatter and the guards catch up, just as Alice realizes the Mad Hatter filled in the rabbit hole. And by rabbit hole, I mean an actual hole that rabbits built. What, you thought I was talking about a butt? Get your mind out of gutter, people. So then Alice dies, and the Mad Hatter laughs. So now Cinderella is fighting Georgia, and Georgia is kicking Cinderella's ass. So then Cinderella activates her power, which is turning into a complete psychopath with super strength, and axes Georgia to death repeatedly. I mean, she sliced her with this axe like 20 fucking times. She is in pieces. So now we have the main event, the three-way dance. The bride is on the line. And Cinderella and Snow White work together to get Rosetta out. And Snow White dares to attack Cinderella. So Cinderella takes the axe to her. Again, about 20 fucking times. So then Cinderella looks for the Mad Hatter, and her fairy godmother has him captured. Of course, her fairy godmother is the one who put a curse on her to send her in psycho rage and kill people. But she's still a fairy godmother with one eye and black hair who looks like she belongs in a samurai movie. So then she kills the Mad Hatter, and her fairy godmother knocks her out and takes the curse off her and sends the new zombified princesses after Cinderella, and they declare Cinderella the fairest of them all. Mainly because she's now got Mad Hatter's powers. And so she orders the princesses to kill a fairy godmother, and then they all have some tea. This is a movie. Yeah, it's okay. It's got some violence in it. It's got some death. You never really see a lot of blood. Cinderella's weapon of choice is her shoe. And an axe. There's a shoe and an axe. You don't really see any heads get cut off. I have no idea why it's rated TV MA. There's no nudity or anything in it. There's no really bad language in it. There's no real blood in it. But the Mad Hatter would make a really good Joker. Should you watch it? Maybe. It's on Tubi. Join me next week where we will be celebrating Easter. But I will be celebrating Easter, and so will this show, with Passion of the Christ. And the wrestling show will be about Jesus, will be about the Bible telling you how to wrestle properly. I'm kidding. No, I'm not doing either of those. No. I had gone there for a second. No, the movie is Bunny the Killer Thing what that has to do with these are absolutely nothing, but it's got a bunny in it and a giant dick. And we're going to look, but since it's also Passover, on the wrestling show, we're going to look at a Jewish wrestler. And it's not going to be Goldberg. So see you then.